Jamie Fine is a Canadian artist from Ottawa region. There's a couple of songs of hers that we play a lot. If this is it, and as well, there you go. And I have her with me right now on air. Please welcome to K100 in St. John, Jamie Fine.
Hi, buddies. Quite the intro, dude. Holy, you're gassing me up.
Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, you work really hard. For you as a singer, songwriter, and artist, people have this idea that it's such a grandiose lifestyle. It's a lot of work.
I appreciate you saying that. You know what? It's like the most hilarious, like happy medium of like there's luxury that you don't get to enjoy because of how intense it is, right? And you experience that too because you're a musician yourself. And it's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of blessings with it, truly. That like it's one of those things where I feel like I can't complain about it. Tough parts to it and really beautiful parts.
I love it. Now, like I mentioned, we've been playing a few of your songs from your upcoming EP. Now, the EP was telling my listeners yesterday that I got a sneak peek of it. It was sent to me, and I said it hasn't even hit streaming yet, and it's going to drop tomorrow.
Yeah. It's coming out at midnight tonight. And I'm like, it's overwhelming. It's a big project for me. It's a very different project for me. It's one of those EPs that it encompasses exactly who I am as a person. And
Right.
I think that's why it feels so overwhelming to put out, but I'm very excited.
Nice. So when you're coming up with songs, are you just coming up with like a random topic, or do you find that it's life experiences that kind of jump in and kind of formulate what a song is going to be?
I think it's more the latter. I think I need to experience things and then I write about them. I think that there's a few really special songs for me that I write while I'm growing rather than it being a product of my growth.
Mm.
And I think that those songs to me typically are the ones that, do the best. If Anything's Left was definitely one of those songs. Bulletproof was definitely one of those songs. More frequently than not, I have to experience something then write about it.
Right. I like how you framed it. It was like I have to write while I'm growing. It's kind of like being in riding in a car and watching the sights go by, right?
Whoa, what a visual. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, tell me about If Anything's Left. How did that song come about?
I've in the past typically written a little bit more dark and depressing music. You've met me and talked to me, and I'm more of an outgoing kind of funny gal. Doesn't take life too seriously, but in my head, I have my own struggles, and
Sure.
I think that's very typical for people like me. And the parts of my head that struggle, that's what I put into my music. And with If Anything's Left, I had met my partner and the love of my life, and Vic, who, we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary. And it's the first person in my life that kind of taught me how to love in a way I didn't know I could love, and who loved me in a way I didn't know I deserved to be loved. And I wanted to write a song that for 2 minutes and 52 seconds, or however long that song is, I wanted to encompass that feeling of how much love we have for each other.
Yeah.
And anybody who was listening to it, I wanted them to just feel okay for that time. Whether it was if they had a partner or not, if they could relate it to friends or family or somebody that they just loved. And I wanted them to feel that. And I think that, from the reaction online, I think we achieved that with this song.
Oh, that's amazing. We oftentimes relate to things better when we read or hear somebody else talking about that same thing.
Totally. And that's the point of my music for me, is that when I was a kid, because I couldn't really sort out my feelings,
Yeah.
music helped me do that. And so with the music that I make now, I want people to listen to something and be like, oh, I feel that way, and then be able to work through it, right? Whether it's happy or sad, or angry or whatever it may be.
You've got a little bit of a counterpoint going with If Anything's Left, for example. It's got such a great beat to it.
Thank you.
And you can feel the joy kind of coming through it. It kind of percolates as well and just kind of builds up. And it's an energetic and infectious song.
I appreciate you. I have to give that part to Bynan, the producer of the record, and every record on this
Right.
EP is Bynan. And yeah, he really emulates exactly what I want to feel with the top line,
Right.
and the vocals. He really brings the production to the next level. And that was, I think, when the song starts, the boom, 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 that bass, that was all him. I can't take any credit for it. So it was a beautiful marriage of, between the two of us and the other writer on the song, Danny Poppet.
So let's talk about how you came about to actually be a signed singing recording artist. How did that actually happen?
I've known what I've wanted to do since I was 12 years old, grade 7. I hopped on stage, sang Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten, could barely reach it. It was too high for me. And all of a sudden, I knew what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I'm a plan A type person. I don't have a plan B because I didn't want anything to fall back on. And
Yeah,
that's not for everybody. I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing that to everybody.
for sure.
Um, but for me, it was tunnel vision in like the healthiest of ways. You know, if I'm not getting everything I wanted, it's because I wasn't working hard enough. And so I found other ways to do things. And the way that I kind of came into this industry was everything had kind of aligned, right? I was in culinary school, and we just started writing really great music together. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I'm fine. This is my end, baby. Let's go. And from there, it's just been same, like tunnel vision of keep moving.
And
Uh,
it really is moving. Like when I look at the stats, you've got over 900,000 followers on social media on TikTok alone. That's just
yeah,
one platform.
yeah, it's really cool. It's very strange for me. I didn't, I'm 30, right? So I'm a millennial, and I didn't really grow up with social media. And then when we were in like high school, it kind of started, like Facebook was happening and this and that and the other. Social media has become such a huge part of life. It's not just music, it's businesses and teachers and all these different people are on these platforms. It's strange for me, but it's very cool to see the amount of people kind of like hopping on board. It's cool.
And social media has really become a big part of how an artist actually gets signed. So it used to be the old days, years ago, that you'd create a demo, you'd print a physical demo, and then you'd go and shop it around. You'd send it to all these different agencies and outlets and try and
Friggin'
get.
right. Yeah.
But now it's become a whole lot easier. It's totally different, but I think it works in an artist's advantage. You get your music right out to the public, and you're talking directly with them, and then it seems to work in reverse. It's like, okay, now the record agencies are looking at it and saying, hey, wait a minute, there's something here, look at this.
Because you can't fight the data, right? It's data like we've never been able to get before. One of those things where we also have a lot of artists that, we've never had more one hit wonders in the world, right? Because it blows up on social media, and then the artist doesn't necessarily know how to perform it or get on stage or whatever. We've lost a lot of the development of artists, which is why labels are still providing that, the development.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's both. It's this huge blessing. I have so many thanks to give for social media in general. And it's like, oh my God, there's a cat. Is that a cat?
Yeah,
I
this
want
is
to
Gus.
cuddle.
I'm in
I
my
want to
home.
cuddle. Hi, you sweet angel. Oh my God, the eyes. Who cares about this interview anymore? I just want to look at your cat.
His sister Dolly's outside the door, and their 15-year-old brother is outside the door too.
I'm obsessed. Can you have that in every single interview you ever do
Absolutely.
ever? Oh my God, that's your thing now, dude.
Tell your friends about me. I'm Catman.
I got you.
Yeah, but it really is neat the way that the whole dynamic goes. You have an idea for a song, you get down with your guitar, and like Shabuzi, for example, is an artist that's out right now.
Totally.
He's just tearing things up, and he kind of came about because Beyonce kind of said, "Oh, yeah, check this guy out," and he collaborated with her.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Oh, it's his story is actually pretty cool. I've just been following him in the last little bit. Interesting guy. It all just started with a demo. He and one friend, they just created a song, and Tipsy, the bar song, and away it goes. And it lights up the dance floors every event I go to.
Oh, 100%. And what's nice about him is that he's backing it up with more music, right? It's more good songs, and he's a well-rounded artist. He can get on stage and perform. Like, he's an artist through and through. He's not just a TikTok artist, as we like to call them now, right?
Do you think that there's not necessarily a lack of talent, but like you mentioned, the one-hit wonders? Almost every artist can come up with one great song. I've seen your live performance. You can sing.
I
You can
try. I
hit
try
those
my best.
notes. And so an artist like Taylor Swift, she's another one of those artists that she can write the songs, she can perform the songs, give her a piano or a guitar, and you see the real deal. And you and your people are able to do that as well. And that's what people are going to see. And I see you've got a couple of shows that are coming up. The end of this month, the 29th, you're going to be in Alberta. And on the 11th of September, you'll be in Ottawa at Lansdowne Park.
Yeah, I'm really excited to do. I love a good hometown show, but honestly, the shows that we're playing, in Canada in general, I'm just excited to like get across Canada again. I'm really proud to be from here. We're doing Kelowna as well later in the summer, and it's going to be a lot of fun for us.
We've been having so much fun playing your music, and it just fits so well with our region. It's positive, the lyrics are great, and it's got a lot to say. And you're with your EP that's going to be dropping tomorrow. What do you want to leave people of St. John, New Brunswick with about Jamie Fine and your EP that's coming out?
I love that. I think that, I want you guys to be able to be as selfish with this project as I was writing it. You have a lot of artists, and I've done it in the past. We say, oh, I spent so long on the track list and listen to it top to bottom. Please listen to it top to bottom. This is not that kind of EP. If you are feeling sad, listen to Bulletproof. You know, if you're having a tough mental health day, listen to Wasted or Groceries. If you are happier than you've ever been, listen to If Anything's Left. I want you to pick and choose however you feel. And I hope that I was able to provide that for people. Every emotion you could possibly feel is on this EP. But other than the EP itself, I just thank you. But you know, St. John, I'm seeing the comments and I'm seeing the love, and I'm so proud to be from Canada in general. But I want to spend more time on the East. I think it's a special place in the world, not just in our country. I appreciate anybody that's been a listener or a follower in any capacity. It means the world to me because it's what keeps making me do what I do.
That's awesome. Jamie Fine, her new EP is dropping tomorrow, Friday, and you know that we're going to be playing the heck out of it right here on K100 in St. John. Jamie Fine, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
I'm going to add you up. We're going to join that band. I'm going to bring my cats.
You better get fucked, dude. That is our set. We don't need a drummer. We don't need any. We need 4 cats, and we need you and me, baby. Let's go. Thank you for this, man. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate you.
I got you.
All right, take care, brother.